Today we're continuing our mini-series, Can I Get a Bad Credit Mortgage with this lender? And I'm delighted to say I've got some groundbreaking news that's hot off the press. I'm incredibly excited to share this one with you. So if you have a 10% deposit and you have bad credit, this is one that you're not going to want to miss. So to bring you up to speed with my excitement, yesterday afternoon, I received the following email from Atom Bank. Hi Josh, we've got some exciting news. We're increasing our maximum loan to value for near prime products to 90% from 85%. This increase will allow us to help even more, especially near prime customers who are first time buyers and those with smaller deposits. Our increased maximum LTV, loan to value, will be available with 2, 3 and 5 year terms, as well as a fee and fee-free options. Rates start at 6.84% for 2-year fixed rates and 6.69% for both 3 and 5 year fixed rates. When are we increasing near prime LTV? We're increasing our maximum LTV at 8 AM on Wednesday, the 26th of March. So before we unpack what this actually means, let's go ahead and take a look at who Atom Bank are. So, like usual, I went ahead and asked ChatGPT. Atom offers residential and buy-to-let mortgages primarily through intermediaries, in brackets mortgage brokers, not directly to consumers. Known for using automation and tech-driven underwriting, which can speed up the mortgage approval process, they often offer competitive fixed-rate mortgages and you manage everything via their app. So, interestingly, no mention of bad credit there. And that's actually because Atom don't claim to be a bad credit mortgage lender. But stay with me because I have some inside information about Atom's near prime mortgage range that I think you're going to find very interesting. A good place to start, I thought, would be with some information that I pulled from Atom's website, which will give you a brief summary about some of the things that they can help with. So this image you're going to see now, this is actually pulled directly from the intermediary site that Atom have for brokers like myself. Why choose a near prime mortgage product for your customer? Generous adverse policy. Under there they've put 2,500 unsatisfied cap for defaults, 1,000 for CCJs per applicant. No credit scoring. This one is a massive deal for me, and that's because they are not saying that you must meet a minimum credit score. They're basically saying as long as you fit their policy, in theory, you should pass the decision in principle and the mortgage application. Same income multiples as prime applications. So what they're saying here is this near prime range that we're discussing is for customers who might have a little bit more adverse credit, but they're still going to potentially lend the same amount to these customers as there would customers who didn't have bad credit. We don't do tiered or risk-based products. A short summary underneath says a simple range of mortgages designed to benefit for your customers. Gifted deposits welcomed. Fast, efficient service. Our automated process deliver a quicker turnaround time. Now that we've taken a look at some of their key advertised offerings, let's go ahead and take a look at who they claim to be eligible for what a near prime mortgage is. So it says here, for a customer to be eligible for one of our near prime mortgage products, they must meet the following criteria. Just remember, there might be other pieces of criteria that they need to meet on top of this as well. So CCJs, which is a county court judgment, it says 0 in the last 12 months, but you're allowed 4 between 13 and 36 months ago. So even if you've had 4 county court judgments within 13 to 36 months previously, you could potentially qualify. And you're allowed as many county court judgments as you want, as long as they're all outside of that 36-month rule as well. Now, a bit to pay attention to where it says value here. It says maximum of £1,000 total combined value of unsatisfied CCJs per applicant. There is no limit if it's satisfied. So clearly, Atom are putting a big emphasis on people actually paying the county court judgments back here. if they haven't been paid back, you're only allowed a maximum of £1,000 worth of them. So you might be allowed as many as you want over 36 months ago, but if they've all got balances on that haven't been paid back, that's just one to watch there. And then it just says here, notes assessed independently from defaults, which we're going to come on to next. Okay, taking a look at defaults now, it says here, defaults 0 allowed in the last 12 months. So you can't have had a default within the last 12 months. But if it was over that, you might be okay. And then it's saying between 13 and 24 months ago, you're actually allowed 4 defaults within that time, which is actually, this is definitely one of the more lenient policies that I've seen at that higher loan to value range. It says, as long as we're over 24 months ago, there is no limit on the amount of defaults that you can have, which again it's pretty unusual for the industry. Really, really positive though. So on to the value of the defaults now. It's saying here that there's a maximum of £2,500 worth of combined values of unsatisfied defaults per applicant. So once again, Atom here, they're taking the stance that they really do prefer it if you've had defaults that they are paid back. If they haven't been paid back, if that accumulative value is over £2,500, be careful because that's going to sit you outside of policy. If they have been paid back, you've got nothing to worry about. It says here you are allowed an additional £500 worth of unsatisfied defaults, but as long as they're for mail order accounts, communications accounts, or utilities accounts. As long as the defaults are paying back though, the line below is just saying as long as they're satisfied, there's no limit on how much those values can be. And they are assessed independently from county court judgments. So now that you've seen a quick summary of the different types of bad credit that Atom Bank can potentially accept, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the different types of products and interest rates that you might be offered. So what we're going to have a look at here is some of the products and interest rates that you might be offered on the 85% loan to value range. So if you have a 15% deposit, and the 90% loan to value range. So if you have a 10% deposit, the reason we're just going to fixate on these two options is it's the smallest deposits that you can put down. So it's probably going to interest the most people. So if we just have a quick look at the rates on the screen here, then there is a 2-year fixed rate that they are offering with a 15% deposit at 6.04%, which is, pretty strong. And when we come on to a 10% deposit, 90% loan to value, there's a 2-year fixed rate available here at 6.84%. If we have a look at, they also have a 3-year fixed product and a 5-year fixed product. The 5-year fixed product with a 10% deposit, you'll be able to see is 6.69%, and the 5-year fixed product with a 15% deposit is 5.69%. One thing I'll mention as well is these advertised products that I've just pulled simply from Atom's website. They come with a free valuation. So anybody who gets a mortgage must have a valuation done on the property. It's done for the purpose of the lender, so they know the money that they're lending against for you to buy the property is going to be secure. That valuation will be carried out for free, which isn't always the case. And the rates that you're looking at here, they do come with what's known as a product fee, and that's £900, but normally that can be added to the loan as well. They do have a fee-free range where there is no product fee, but just bear in mind, if you do go with one of those options, it will mean that the interest rate is likely going to be higher as well. Now, before I wrap things up on today's video, I wanted to share one more thing with you about Atom Bank that I find truly exceptional. So I just went and took a statement from the website that I think summarises this quite nicely. So it says here, mortgages that tick all the right boxes. Our mortgages are simple, great value, and offered in hours and days, not weeks and months. Submit an application through our online portal and stay in control throughout the process. What's not to love? And my experience with Atom Bank would definitely back this up. We've had mortgage cases offered with them within seconds. We've typed in the application, we've pressed the button, and by the time we've refreshed the screen, the mortgage is actually offered. They are extremely, extremely quick. And that's because they utilise things like open banking and other types of technology, meaning that they can cut the usual 2 to 6 week underwriting time frame that's common across the rest of the industry down to, on average, perhaps 2 or 3 days. So there you have it, some quite remarkable criteria there from the innovative Atom Bank. Are they going to accept everyone's bad credit? No, of course not. But with an offering like that, with as little as a 10% deposit, they are going to be a fantastic option for a lot of our clients. But like always, it will come down to your overall personal circumstances, not just your credit history. So if you do have any questions or any ideas for future videos, then feel free to pop those in the comments below. Alternatively, you can pop us an email and we will pop the email address in the description. So thanks for watching. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications for more tips on bad credit and all things bad credit mortgage related, and we will see you in the next video.